Hey YouTube, it's Erica, and it's Thursday, January 3rd, 2013. Happy New Year. I'm back to record my week 36 update. Let me go straight to the numbers. I started my journey in late March 2012 at a high weight of 228.3 pounds. I had the vertical gastrectomy on April 26, 2012, and started and had surgery at a weight of 215.6 pounds. So now, 36 weeks later, I am 140.6 pounds. So since my last update, I've only lost 0.2 pounds. Since surgery date, I've lost exactly 75 pounds. And since my high weight, I've lost 87.7 pounds. So other stats, lean or body fat is 25.2 pounds. And so my calculated lean mass is 105.17 pounds, which means at body fat percentage, or my goal body fat percentage is 20%. My ideal weight would be 131.46 pounds, which means I have 9.14 pounds to lose. One thing I didn't mention in a prior video, it was kind of one of those non-scale victory type of things. At some point, and I could probably calculate it now, at some point I crossed over into a BMI range that was healthy. So let's see, now my height is 5'3" and 5 feet 3.17 inches, and I use the 0.17 inches because it makes a difference for my BMI. So that might be cheating a little bit, but I don't care. Alright, so at my weight today, my BMI is 24.77. So that's just under the normal range. And I don't know what it was, 140.8 last week. So I was in the normal range last week as well. That's crazy to go from obese to overweight and then now just barely normal. That's awesome. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, so other stuff. This week, in terms of behavior, I've had some good days and bad days. Good being, I always pretty much focus on protein, or I do protein, but I've had some days that have been very low carb, I guess I should say. Not just getting the protein that I need, but low carb. I don't think I've been over 100 grams of protein, but I've had days where I'm better on the carb side. I've had days where I'm eating just whatever I want, and so I think that's just reflective in the scale. Also, I swam last night, even though I had a really bad headache, and then I swam the only other activity I had was last Saturday I swam. So it hasn't been a very active week, and I've been grazing and eating stuff. So it is what it is. I have to own it. I'm seeing my surgeon again in 2 weeks. I haven't seen him in months and months. The last time I was in was probably at least 3 months ago, if not 4 months ago. And I didn't even see Dr. Cirangle. I saw his assistant, and I'd been waiting for an hour. I was already pissed off, and I think that just affected my attitude. I didn't care for her at all. And sorry, but I didn't. And so I refuse to go in if I don't see him. I mean, he's the one that I have a relationship with this experience, and I don't want to talk to anybody else. So there. But anyway, so I see him in a couple weeks, and I'd really like to be 135 for that visit, or 136. I mean, at least close to, really a little closer to goal. So that's my goal, which means I have to get back on the stick. I can lose that. I know I can. I just have to really focus. And I also haven't been drinking water. I've been drinking coffee. I haven't been focusing on water. So I kind of got this bad boy out again. It's 32 ounce, 33 ounce. It's great. It's Camelback brand. I got it from Target, I think, and I love it because it doesn't spill. Like, I can lock it, turn it over, and I trust that it's not going to spill. I've had it for a while, and it doesn't stink yet. And I'll leave water in here for like a week, and it still doesn't taste weird or smell. I don't know how, but anyway, this sucker's great. And I also got a regular Camelback for hiking, but I haven't hiked in a while, so. Other stuff. Big news. I've talked about plastic surgery in the past, and I think my focus has been kind of like my tummy, it's so gushy and blah blah. And I now feel like I just kind of want to give my body some time to adjust in terms of like inner thigh and stomach and butt, and just kind of focus my workouts around those a little bit more. But I do really feel like a boob job or breast augmentation and lift would be helpful. They've always been kind of on the saggier side, like they just kind of are pendulous. And now that I've gone from a double D to a B, it they're just there's I try to like lift them up in a bra and they kind of wrinkle, and I have to kind of really manipulate them so they don't look bizarre. And I wear like super crazy padded bras so that it fills out my figure more. And just the shape, the drop, the fullness, I don't feel deformed or anything, but I really feel like it would help my overall image. And when I look in the mirror, I like what I see. It would just make me feel that much sexier or whatever. So I've seen now 2 surgeons, and now I'm just trying to figure out 2 main factors. 1, how do I swing it financially? And then 2, how do I fit it in for work? So the first, I've decided on, when I do this, saline versus silicone, and I've decided on, what else? I think the size I want is about anywhere from a 500cc to a 600cc, which would make me a full D, something around there. I'm hesitant I don't want to go too small. I don't want to look like a freak. I want it to balance out and accentuate my figure. I don't want it to be like boobs, you know? But, so anyway, so the cost, oh, and I also need a lift because, this may be graphic for some people. I'm not going to rip off my shirt, but the girls point to my toes. And so much so that they would have to, what I call a nipple relocation project, they would have to relocate the nipple up so that's higher up on my chest in a more aesthetically pleasing way, and also reduce this, like the overall circumference. And so I call that nipple relocation project and no nipple left behind. That's my little, I don't know, I'm stupid. But so I would need a lift as well as an augmentation. So that increases the price. So the surgeon I like is in San Francisco, and the cost would be $9,200 for the lift and the augmentation. And that includes like the facility fee, surgeon fee, implant, all that, and follow-up and everything. And so now I'm trying to decide about financing it. I don't have the cash. But tax season is coming up and I'm expecting a refund, so I think I'm just going to see how much of it, if I have half of it to put down, then I could finance half of the other half with a 2-year interest-free loan. It doesn't make me excited, but interest-free, I'm just banking on the fact that I'm not going to have other big expenses, and that I'll still have my job and all that, and I don't know how wise a decision that is. So I have a little, obviously I have time and I don't have to make the decision now, but I want to feel good, and at the same time I don't want to be making stupid financial decisions that I don't need to make. I don't need to make this, but you know what I mean. So that's kind of a big thing in my future. I'm thinking the earliest I'll do it, and this ties into the work, is mid-March. So I'm on my current client until the end of February, and it may spill over a little bit into March, so I'm thinking if I kind of earmark some time mid-March, then that should work. I'd need to take about a week off of work. And the mistake I made with my VSG surgery is I only took 4 days off of work, I think. Surgery was on Thursday. I took Thursday, Friday, and the following Monday, Tuesday off. I returned to work at home on Wednesday, but I was freaking exhausted. The rest of that week, I was just trying to kind of keep in tune and keep up to date, and I just was really tired between, I don't know if it was meds or just not consuming very many calories and not being used to it, or just the shock of my body's trying to fix itself. So I don't want to make the same mistake in this this time. So anyway, so that is that. The other thing I wanted to quickly touch on is tax season's coming up for the 2012 tax returns. And so as I don't know how I even really was thinking of this, but I thought to myself, I wonder what kind of expenses I can claim on my taxes. And so I started doing a little research, and I'm not sure what will apply to me, but it might be beneficial to those who've paid a lot out of pocket in 2012 for their surgery. So what I found out is you can claim as a medical deduction the excess of 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. So let's do a little simple math. Let's say your adjusted gross income is $50,000. 7.5% of that would be $3,750. So if your medical expenses in 2012 were in excess of $3,750, you would be able to claim the excess. So if your medical expenses were $5,000, then you would be able to claim $1,250 as a deduction on your tax return. Now this also, one is you can claim the excess of 7.5% of adjusted gross income, and the second component is you have to itemize your deductions. So you can't, this doesn't apply to you if you take a standard deduction. So if you own a home and you're claiming interest expense and all that kind of stuff, then this makes sense to at least look into it, gather all your receipts and figure out what your expenses were and do the math. Talk to a tax accountant if you've got one. Sorry, that's my phone. Now in 2013, that the threshold of 7.5% is going to go up to 10%, which means in the same example, if you make $50,000, then your medical expenses would have to be in excess of $5,000 in order to claim anything. And so in my example where your medical expenses are $5,000, next year you wouldn't be able to claim anything because it would be exactly even. You would have to, anyway, so anyone who's had surgery in 2012, I just say look into it, see if this applies to you because it could be kind of beneficial. I think that's about it. Let's see, what's my time here? I don't feel like I've talked very much. It's still 12 minutes. What the heck? Anyway, all right, so that's it for me. Hopefully this has been helpful. I hope everybody had a great 2012 and a good new year. And I really hope that we all survive all the financial crises that are unraveling in 2013. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So anyway, thanks everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, YouTube. Mwah.